Hey everyone, so we already went over the leg muscles in detail in a previous video. So this video is going to be more of a crash course style video where I'm just going to point and name the muscle for you. Feel free to put this on 2x speed if you'd like a super quick run through, but here we go. This is the anterior compartment of the upper leg. This is the rectus femoris. This is one of the quads. This is the vastus lateralis, another quad. This is the vastus medialis, another quad. This is the sartorius muscle. If I remove the sartorius muscle and the rectus femoris muscle, you are going to see underneath the rectus femoris, this is where the vastus intermedius should be, and that is the fourth and final quad muscle. So vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, and I removed the rectus femoris and the sartorius already. This is your iliopsoas. This is your TFL or tensor fasciae latae. This is your IT band or your iliotibial tract. If we move more medially, you can see the pectineus muscle, the adductor brevis muscle, the adductor longus muscle, the adductor magnus muscle, which includes all of this, and this right here, adductor magnus. This is the gracilis muscle, We are now on the posterior compartment. This is your semitendinosus, your semimembranosus, which can be seen on either side, spilling underneath the semitendinosus. This is your biceps femoral longhead, biceps femoris longhead. This down here would be your biceps femoris shorthead. It is better seen if I take off these muscles, but first, this is the gluteus maximus, so let's go ahead and take that off. You have three gluteus muscles, the gluteus maximus, you had the gluteus medius, right here, the gluteus medius, and then you have the gluteus minimus, which cannot be seen. I have removed the hamstrings, so including the semitendinosus, the semimembranosus, the biceps femoris longhead. Now you can better see that biceps femoris shorthead. Biceps femoris shorthead. You can also, now that I removed the gluteus maximus, you can see the gluteus medius, the piriformis, the superior gemellus, the obturator internus, and the inferior gemellus, and the quadratus femoris. And that concludes the upper muscles. Really quickly, this is the superior gluteal artery, the inferior gluteal artery, the sciatic nerve up until this point where it becomes the common peroneal nerve, and the tibial nerve going all the way down. This would be the popliteal artery and vein. These little arteries coming off of the popliteal artery would be the genicular arteries going around to the front of the knee. That region right there. Up here, we're back to that pectineus iliopsoas area. This is your femoral nav. This is your deep femoral artery. This would be considered your great saphenous vein right here as it goes through the adductor hiatus through the adductor magnus area. And this was that gracilis, this was the adductor magnus. The hole going through that would be the adductor hiatus. If we move down, we can now see this part of the leg, which is the lower leg, anterior compartment, right? So we had that tibia that you can see right here, the anterior tibialis. You could see your extensor hallucis longus, your extensor digitorum longus. If I move even more laterally, you can see the peroneus longus or the fibularis longus. This part would be the fibularis brevis or the peroneus brevis. Now we are on the posterior compartment of the leg, so you can see those gastrocnemius muscles. This would be the medial head of the gastrocnemius. This would be the lateral head of the gastrocnemius. If I take off the gastrocnemius medial head, you can actually see the soleus underneath, as well as the plantaris muscle. This is the tendon to plantaris. Okay, now we are on the more medial side. We know this because of the hallux down here, the big toe. This is trying to show you the popliteus, which has a better view if I take off this muscle right here, which I'll do in a second. But this muscle right here, I just wanted to go over this one, is your flexor digitorum longus, all right? And that one's a funny one, right? If I take off this muscle, you wouldn't expect it to be the flexor digitorum longus, but as long as you know that your tendons for these two muscles cross over in your foot, it makes a lot more sense, right? So here's the popliteus. You can better see it here. This is that flexor digitorum longus. Here is that posterior tibialis muscle right here. It's kind of small, it's kind of forgettable, but it's there. And this, last but not least, is your flexor hallucis longus. Flexor hallucis longus. How I remember is it's shaped like an H, right? Even though this is closer to the digits and this one is closer to the hallux, they're flip-flopped. So just remember H for hallucis, and then this one is digitorum because the tendons for them cross over in the foot region and go to their respective areas. Now we can go to the foot, all right? Here's the foot. Well, I'll show you this. If you have a model like this, you can possibly take off that muscle right there, and you can see this this artery, which is the anterior tibial artery. You can also see the deep peroneal nerve and the superficial peroneal nerve here going over the ankle. But now we go to the foot's. Here we have the extensor hallucis brevis, because brevis is in the foot, extensor hallucis brevis. Over here, these muscles would be extensor digitorum brevis. Now, if I flip it over, have your abductor hallucis, abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi brevis, flexor hallucis brevis, your lumbricals for worms, Latin for worms, and flexor digitorum brevis. And those are a quick review of all the muscles of the lower limb.